Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kaz Aston. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm back here now for 2018 recording some information for you about multiple sclerosis and various topics that we like to cover with the MS Global Social Network. Of course, we've got presenters recording from all over the world, keeping you up to date on the latest news with MS. Also treatments and what's happening in the way of therapies, all of that information. But I just want to stop really and actually start this new year because I'm recording in a different place, which is nice because I thought for 2018 I want the best quality ever. So I'm at a local community station set up where they're not actually a radio station, but they're actually providing music resources, I think is a good way of putting it, out in the community in Berkshire to help people. It could be to help with health issues, it could be to help them get back into work, it could be for a whole range of things. And I said, well, can you help me? And it's great because we're here in the studio, which was nice. I mean, rather than going into London, I went into Berkshire. It's not far from Windsor. So we're here looking at that today of how, we can use these wonderful facilities that we've got here to actually make this sound even better. I know it's not going to change the content. I know it's not going to change the subject, but it might be a bit more better quality and it might be a better, I don't know, I'm not a sound technician, but it might sound better. So basically, the person that's helping me is a DJ and producer, and they're working with a company called Creative in Sync, which is bringing together all of these opportunities for people to engage within the world of music, but to engage on a community level, as I said, to look at how local campaigns, local activities can be supported, because there's always lots going on. And I know after living in Berkshire for a very long time, there's great things that happen in the local community. And there's a lot of stuff as well happening for MS. My MS team is based in Berkshire and in London, but we actually provide services for Berkshire. I say we provide services. The neurologists and the MS nurses and all the team provide services, should I say, which is great. But basically what they're doing is working together with general practices, GPs, with social care to make sure that people get the right solutions that they're looking for. And of course, encouraging people to keep working if they've got a disability and to look at different ways of moving forward. Now, as you well know, I've spoken before about a few of the groups that I work on, and I've been away quite a bit lately. I was with the MS in the 21st Century World Steering Group, and we were recording and doing some really good stuff that we travel, because we want to make sure that everybody in the world has got a good opportunity to do stuff to help their lives, to help themselves, and to help other people. And what we've been doing with that MS in the 21st century is looking at communication tools. Now, I think that's quite timely, really, considering I'm looking at communication and I'm talking to you down a microphone, and we're trying to get the best sound and the best experience possible, of course. But how important communication is for everybody, and particularly as well if you're having a tough time with your MS, or maybe you don't know how to talk to someone about your MS, or you don't know how to explain something. And I think that sometimes we all struggle trying to find the right words, trying to find the right way, the right angle. I mean, you can dress it up in any way you want to, really. But I think the key thing is really what we've been doing with MS in the 21st century is actually looking at developing new communication tools. So all the people that are living with MS, affected by MS, or all the people that maybe are providing services and help for people with MS, have access to things that are getting better results. Now, I say that, getting better results. I know that these things are working because we've tried and tested them in lots of different countries around the world. And we've actually been talking to people with MS, like myself, medical professionals, doctors, nurses, to look at what is achievable, what can we do in reality that could make a difference to people's lives with MS. And that's why developing new communication tools was really, really exciting. And it's good because now we're sharing it internationally. It's going across all the medical journals. It's in all the information, because there's a lot of top neurologists, a lot of top nurses, experts in the field that are all contributing here. And it's really nice as well because it's also backed by pharmaceutical companies. Everyone goes, oh, yeah, but pharmaceutical companies obviously manufacture medication. But they also do a lot of extra work as well to help people affected by certain conditions. It's very difficult. We have to make sure with a conflict of interest. But they are working hard and tirelessly to try to get the best solution to help somebody deal with, in this case, MS in their life, and that could be dealing with it with a relationship, with a partner. How am I going to tell my boyfriend, or how am I going to tell my girlfriend about this MS journey? How am I going to explain it? Some of the words are really big as well, and I personally always go on about that point because I don't like this culture of acronyms, abbreviating the CBTB, what's it, what? Every organization uses different approaches for that. But I think if you're clear and you're making sure that the information is going out there, and if it's medical or it's researched, it's got some backup, so it is actually doing what it's saying it's doing, so it gives you a bit more confidence. And I think as well, when you're not sure what to do or where to go, you need to be as confident as possible to help you engage with the world, to help you engage with things in your local community, to help you engage with charity if you want to. There's a whole load for MS, as we know, great charities out there working really hard, doing some loads, really good publications. And as I said, that's why I was talking about MS in the 21st century. So watch out for that brand over the next year. I really do feel, I'm not giving you a kind of looking into the future over the next 12 months, but I want to say, watch out for MS in the 21st century because of the new communication tools to bridge the gap, the communication gap, and that's what it's all about. So watch out for MS in the 21st century. And as I said, there's lots of information coming forward because we haven't rushed this out. We've been working on this for about 2 years, but we're now ready to take it out with websites, with, as I'm talking about information now, in different ways that work for everybody, so we can tap into social media, radio, TV, whatever we want to do in the way of broadcasting, but we can make sure that people have a chance to understand. And I think that chance to understand is always important in any walk of life. And as I said, this is, MS in the 21st century. That's global. So that's all over the world. It's, we're representing, with a group of people, cover the UK. So we go to various MS events, and also as well all the specialist ones that are done by, for the pharmaceutical industry or health and social care. So there's a whole load of different people engaged here, and people are doing this. We know in hospitals they're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, aren't they? That's pretty full on, and a lot of the charities are as well, and I'm sure you've been finding that out as well. But most importantly, a lot of the charities have a really good spread on the websites nowadays, so people can find out quickly what this is all about, and also get in touch with people, because it could be that they've seen something on TV and they want to find out more about that. Why has this happened, or is this the best thing to do? So we can actually share that accordingly, but share it with confidence, as I've said. So that's what we're doing with MS in the 21st century, and I'm very proud that I've been asked, and I have been contributing for the last 2 years on that one, and that we are bringing out publications. And another one that we've actually worked on is my MS commitments, because it's a two-way, communication here, two-way talking, as I like to say, with your MS nurse or your MS doctor and you as a person and your family or whoever you want to take. So that's really important, that you are listening to each other and that you are giving time to understand where you're coming from. And we've had to do that over the last couple of years. We've had to really understand the current situation, how people are managing it in different ways in different countries, and they are very different. Some people pay for their medical care, some people get it for free. Some people don't have any option, and that's why I've got to say I feel very fortunate in the UK that we've got the services that we've got. We know we've got a big debate about the money. We know that that is very, very topical and timely in a lot of discussions. But at the same time, we also know that the investments that have been made to some of these areas have really made a difference. And so I think that is worth shouting about. So, for example, MS in the 21st Century now is actually running to publications which are going to reach out to the medical community, the social care community. And as I said, working with patients with their MS commitments, what is going to make an MS patient deal better with their diagnosis? What's going to make somebody with any condition deal better with their diagnosis? And we know that education is a good start. And we know that actually having support in the local community is a great approach. So everybody deals with these things differently, as I've mentioned already. But I think it's important to actually know that there are a lot of people out there from other industries supporting this subject too. We get a lot of celebrity involvement sometimes as well. And we, particularly in London, we've had a huge amount of support for MS. And of course, we work with the international MS forums and groups. But there is a huge amount of support and they want to help, And I know that some of the celebrities that I've spoken to are always looking to ways to engage with their fans, of course, but also to help important causes. And I think that that's really important to help important causes, because if we don't, we won't get any progress. And that's one of the other parts that I wanted to talk to you about today, is the whole idea of brain health. Brain health, well, you think health of your brain, and because we're taking lots of different treatments sometimes, or lifestyle changes, we need to know if that's actually beneficial. But there's been a huge amount of work done on MS brain health activities to support materials to being developed with grants and things from various different departments, but actually educational grants to get out to the people and to help people understand and to digest things in their own way. But as I said, these publications are really quite exciting because they're endorsed by a lot of top people that have supported the work that we've been doing, a lot of top authors. But also as well, it's done in a way that it's easy to read and easy to understand, because that's really, really important, particularly if your disability is progressing or it's active. In MS, we talk about your MS being active or not active in my world. And I like to talk about it like that because I'm always looking to keep my MS unactive. And I think that's my personal aspiration. But as I said, it's not just about that, keeping it active. It's thinking about brain tissue loss. It's talking about new lesions with MS, neurological impacts, symptoms, memory effects, for example, walking effects, looking at how you're socially engaging. So this is a whole load of information that's actually been made available, and making people aware of that is important. But we're actually sharing that now to make sure that we're covering just more than MS is a neurological condition that is unpredictable and affects all systems of the body, and there's not a cure for it. So ultimately, there is a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and that is supported by a huge amount of different people. And as I said, the publications are out there, but I want you to have a look out. If you want to see if there's any more you can find out about this, Google it, look for it in any way that you like to do. But the subject of brain health is a big area now, and we're actually looking at actually trying to help that. We know certain things affect brain health, we know certain things affect your MS, and if we can look at linking those together in ways to actually promote healthy living at the same time, then that sounds a good option. And of course, these are the things that we're trying to feature in our radio shows, in our areas that we're talking about, because our GPs are working on these areas. Our doctors and medical teams that are all related to that are working on these areas in our local hospitals or in, regional hospitals. It's all changing now because of the funding challenges. But there's a whole load of different things out there. And I think what I would say to you is make sure that you keep up to date, because even over a couple of weeks, I find that things have come out in the press that I needed to know about. And as I said to you last year, this is why I started publishing a list of everything that's in the media, everything that's been online, so people at least know it's out there. And we've been looking at that and doing that in partnership with Paperly to give everybody an up-to-date. I've done MS research. I'm sorry, I want to know what research is happening. Also, as well, if I'm doing a radio show like this, I can talk about that. If it's for MS, because I do a lot of fundraising and charity stuff with MS, and we even go off and do things like car events and driving and charity expeditions. I think, when we did Supercar GB last year, we travelled 3,500 miles for people affected by MS. Yeah, that was in a nice car. Can't complain, but we paid for that ourselves because we wanted to actually do some fundraising too. So, it's got to be balanced. It's got to be, what's the return on our investment of our time, whether we've got extra stuff that we can add to the story. If we're, I'm from a clinical background, and of course nowadays I work in public relations. And I've been doing a huge amount of work with my public relations company, W1PR, to get these messages out there, to get these, we do lots of work on social media marketing campaigns where we're promoting various hashtags. There's always hashtags relating to certain subjects. As you know, hashtags have been around. I remember when they came out, I loved it. How to actually make things go viral and trend on Twitter and social media. What's the power of the hashtag? And that's what we found was really, really helpful in a way that we could actually communicate. But also it would take people to the right websites and get the right information and collaboration. And that's one of the things that we really are focusing on again this year, is continued collaboration. And that's again with patients, with medical experts, with pharmaceutical companies, with MPs. I was at a conference, I was chairing a World Summit, and somebody was saying, well, can't your local MP help? And I said, well, that's a good idea, maybe. So again, thinking about the bigger picture, look at your local community, and who's part of that? Of course, your local MP. So I really do urge everybody to look at all these different options, because, I must be honest, I didn't think about contacting my local MP to find out about progress with MS. But it's amazing what some of these MPs do in their work to actually champion causes. And they do change, as we've seen recently. They take on their new roles for the government, and they do their new projects, and they do their new work, and they bring all their expertise and colourful background and experience into that. And that's pretty good too. So, it's important to keep abreast, I think is the way to put it, with all these different subjects. And one of the things that I find, and I know a lot of other people, I'm being told off by the show producer here because I just hit the microphone, but hopefully I haven't mucked it up. But because it's ever so posh in here, I feel quite privileged to be recording my show in here. Woohoo! Anyway, I will come on to that just so you know about it, because I do like people in local areas to know about these resources. And this is a local resource that is available in Berkshire, and it is available in the local community. So it may well be a case, I mean, they don't normally do stuff like this. I think they're going to do a radio show in the not too distant future. But it's because, one of the team here knew what I did and said, how can we help you? And I was so touched. And I thought, wow, this is in my own backyard. So, I thought that was really good. And that shows it doesn't have to be giving you money. It doesn't have to be, signing up for a journey of however many months or years. It could just be saying, okay, come and record your show here. Get down the road, get in your car and come and do it here. We can always do that, or I can help make it sound better if you need to, or we could do some music with it, or we could do whatever we wanted to. I mean, I'm always trying around with the music in the background, as you've heard at my other shows, which again, I mean, we're talking about content. Oh, and I just hit the microphone again. But as I said, it's really important to make sure that we are sharing the right information. And that's a big part of the roles of the MS charities. And we know that the MS Society, which is a global MS charity, the MS Trust in the UK as well, which is global nowadays. I mean, they've been doing some huge work, and this is one of the areas that we're also linking in with MS in the 21st century, you know, to make sure that there is some overlap and some connectivity between these great projects that are going on, that are run by local consultants, that are run by whoever. Or it might be because there isn't a service like it and they need to work out the best way to provide it. Because the cutting edge medical science is really progressing very fast, as we all know. And we know that treatments are always coming along, and there's new drugs coming along too. And with the new drugs, we need to know the risks, and we need to be able to decide whether that's something worth pursuing. And of course, everybody's got their own experience of different things. And I think if you can read about personal experiences, that's why testimonials are always quite good, aren't they, really? I tried this and this did this to me, or actually it was just not very good at all. But anyway, that's one of the areas that, as I said, I've been working with MS in the 21st century, with the MS Clear Guide as well. It's great because we've linked that in there. We're looking, I've been mentioning it for a while about the updates with the MS Clear Guide. And I'm actually quite proud to say that we haven't really got any major updates that we needed to do on that, but we also don't promote drug brands. We don't promote certain things like treatment options. So it's quite generic. So, you know, it's not saying go and buy this, go and do this. It's actually saying the latest research is showing that. And again, that's another good reason why these daily, paperly publications from all the research that's going out in the industries, all of the industries, you know, what's been published online, is very helpful to know about. Because I find it is. I mean, I must be honest, some of the updates that I get on a daily basis from Paperly are really, really encouraging. You know, and they're encouraging people in different ways. I mean, as I said, I'm encouraging the concept of engaging with music to promote your health condition, to promote your quality of life, promote your business, promote whatever, because that's one of the things that we can do. And it's one of the things that we need to keep going with and enjoying. And as I said, you know, for me, it's something that I've found great success with. It's helped a lot of my campaigns. It's helped with a lot of my hashtag MS Clear Guide. It's helped with these things. But most importantly, it's given people an opportunity to try and help themselves. And as I said, without sounding rather repetitive, I know we haven't got too many minutes left to go on this. I'm watching my voice recorder and all of that stuff going on. It's all technical, as I said today. Don't worry, you know, hopefully it's not going to sound too much different, but I hope a little bit better for you, because of course, I haven't been around for a while. We had Shift MS, which I helped with. The actual conference that was in Prague recently. That was really good. So look out for Shift MS. And as I said, look out for MS in the 21st century. I've recorded some films and some interviews with some of the amazing people involved with this. So it's very, very good. And also, it's free. I do like these free options without sounding cheap. So anyway, I'm not going to go on about this for too much longer because I will be stressing out the producer. But also, I wanted to say thank you for all of your wonderful contacts via social media, hashtags, whatever you're using. As I said, my contact details at Kaz Aston on Twitter. I'm a big Twitter player, but of course there's all the websites that you know about that are available and that of course are available to you for free. So keep listening, keep in touch. Thanks for the wonderful celebration messages for the festive period. And I really, really hope that this year is going to be super, super, super positive. And I hope we're going to make even more progress with an area that is pretty progressed in a lot of respect. We've got a whole load of opportunities for people with MS. It's a good time, and it has been for the last few years for MS in the world. And also as well, I know it's a good time in my local community in Berkshire. We've got some very, very good services that are available for people with MS. And that's not just with your doctor and your GP or your social worker. That's also people running them off their own back and deciding that they want to help people to help themselves. So look out in your local communication information. Look out, see what you can get, and enjoy it. And I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.